Olympic champion.
So how long does that fight last?
Listen, my opinion, it's 1 round.
Some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Anthony, by murder.
By murder?
Yes.
Golly.
Might knock his head off a little bit. Like, it might be special effect, but it might, like, go out.
Like legit?
Boxing legends are sharing their predictions for the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua showdown. Usyk explains that this fight will not go beyond the first round because after facing Joshua twice, he completely understands the level of power Joshua generates. To Usyk, this matchup is driven mostly by money, offering little genuine value to the sport. He believes Joshua needs only one clean opening to expose the enormous gap in strength. For him, this is not a competitive fight, but a quick finish. And he sees Jake entering a situation far beyond anything he has ever experienced.
About AJ taking that fight. Obviously, it's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Do you see something wrong with AJ taking that fight?
This is just a lot of money. It's just a show.
Right.
This is not interesting sport because, guys, brothers, Anthony, it's Olympic champion.
Right.
Jake, it's just sportsman. Yeah, YouTuber. Jake do a lot of work.
Right.
Special coach, special food, a lot of exercise new.
Yes.
But this is guy don't have a mother fights.
Right.
Never
Right.
a mother fights. Maybe them wrestling now professional, but Joshua, Anthony Joshua, it's Olympic champion.
So how long does that fight last?
Listen, my opinion, it's 1 round because Anthony twice. My fight twice. Jab.
Very hard.
Yeah, look. You know, this is.
And still from his
This
fight.
is jab.
Tyson Fury delivers one of the boldest predictions of the entire debate, taking an entirely different stance. Fury claims Jake Paul will knock out Joshua, a statement that shocks many because it goes against nearly every expert viewpoint. Fury argues that Jake is physically developing, lifting heavier, and evolving into a more solid fighter overall. He believes Jake's rapid progression is impressive, and insists that momentum can sometimes outweigh experience. Fury is known for making unpredictable statements, but here he maintains that Jake's confidence and recent rise could produce an outcome almost no one expects. He sees Jake not as an internet personality, but as a fighter who has dedicated himself to real training. Fury's prediction remains controversial, yet it adds depth to the debate because it comes from someone with unmatched knowledge of heavyweight boxing.
Talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force. And I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look.
Atlas examines the matchup from a strategic perspective rather than hype or fan pressure. He recognizes the tremendous strength Joshua possesses, but also emphasizes that Jake Paul is not entering the fight without weapons of his own. Atlas notes that Jake's youth gives him faster recovery, greater confidence, and a willingness to take chances older fighters often avoid. He points out Jake's improved footwork, which could create problems for Joshua if he underestimates the movement. According to Atlas, every matchup has two sides, and this one is no exception. Joshua has size, experience, and championship pedigree, but Jake brings certain attributes that cannot be dismissed. Atlas expands by analyzing Jake's mentality, explaining that being early in his career gives him hunger and freedom from the mental fatigue veteran fighters face. He acknowledges Joshua is at his best when controlling distance, but Jake's quicker feet and readiness to jump into exchanges might create small openings. Those openings may be limited, but they are real, and Atlas believes they are enough to prevent Jake from being completely counted out. His message is not that Jake will win, but that he has enough assets to be taken seriously.
While we look at all the advantages that Joshua has, let's look at how I look at where maybe Paul has some advantages. He's younger. His feet are a little faster. I know he's not at that level of a fighter, I get it, but his feet are faster. Joshua's feet are not that fast, closing gaps, getting to somebody. To hit him, even if you're better than him, you still got to get to him to hit him. Also, Joshua, last time he fought was over a year. He hasn't fought. He was basically retired. Where's his mind at? He got knocked out terribly by Dubois. Where's his confidence? Where's his mindset? Where is he? Is he taking this fight the way that fans are, overlooking Paul, taking him for granted? Yeah, probably is. Might be. Does that weigh in? Yeah, that weighs in. People don't look at those parts of it. And the weight. Paul's smart. He always puts clauses in there. I know this is the first time he's fighting a guy who's bigger than him and all that stuff, but he put in a 245-pound weight, clause where he can't come in over 245. What is Joshua weighing? He was off over a year. He was basically retired. Was he 280? Was he 290? Was he 275? Easily could be the case. He didn't have a lot of time now to get to 245. How does that affect him? Oh, we forgot about that. It's a little thing, but it's not that little. It's the thing that Paul put there for a reason. Again, Paul hasn't made too many mistakes. He's been pretty damn smart. I'm not saying he's the fighter that Joshua is, but I don't know if Joshua's the fighter.
Roach speaks with a tone that mixes respect for boxing with genuine concern over what could happen. If Anthony Joshua approaches Jake Paul with full seriousness, he does not view this as a balanced matchup because Joshua's natural size, strength, and technical history create a dangerous scenario Jake has never dealt with. Roach explains that Joshua doesn't even need to throw heavy combinations for the consequences to be severe. One committed punch from Joshua could end everything instantly, especially given the difference in experience and physical ability. He stresses that the heavyweight force Joshua carries is not something a social media-turned fighter can withstand safely, and the physical gap between them could put Jake in real danger.
Excuse me. My first thoughts was this guy's crazy. Not gonna lie. But I get it. Coming from a guy who's not a true traditional boxer, and to be able to have a position where he can fight a former unified world champion, former Olympic gold medalist, and to do it on such a stage where Anthony Joshua was a superstar as well. I mean, like, he sold out the O2, twice.
Absolutely.
I think. So, I think Jake is setting himself up for, a huge spectacle, and which is, kind of smart. If you're gonna go big, why not go to the highest of the mountain? Why not? And I get it. That's what you call business right there. And I seen a lot of guys calling them out, from like Gabe to other guys who are boxers. Yeah, like guys who actually beat him. But why would he settle for those guys when he could fight Anthony Joshua? So I think that's smart. I think that's super smart.
Smart is one thing. What do you think happens in the ring, though, champ?
I think he gets hurt for sure. I think he gets obliterated. Something close to like Francis Ngannou. I think something like that happens, and it's going to be bad for him. But there will be.
Andrew Tate responds to the matchup with a message that is straightforward and to the point. He says Jake has stepped into a massive moment and deserves respect for doing so. Tate acknowledges the level of danger Jake is taking on and admits that most people would never enter a ring with someone as powerful and proven as Joshua. For Tate, the outcome is not the main focus. What matters is that Jake is testing himself against a top-tier opponent and showing ambition very few fighters, whether influencers or professionals, would ever show. Tate's reaction centers more on courage than prediction, and he believes Jake's decision alone earns admiration.
Just a couple more things before I let you go. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, your thoughts on this fight? Omega 1?
Yeah, huge respect to Jake. I mean, we all know what should happen on paper, but it's boxing. So huge respect to Jake. I'm not.
John Ali, a professional mixed martial artist and UFC bantamweight contender, expressed genuine fear for his friend Jake Paul ahead of the December 19th main event in South Florida. Speaking on the Bro Ali Show, he admitted that facing Anthony Joshua is frightening on a personal level. Ali emphasized that being knocked out by someone of Joshua's caliber can bring life-changing consequences, not just career setbacks. He called Jake's choice to step into the ring with such a powerful heavyweight absolutely insane, stressing the real danger and extreme risk involved in this matchup.
O'Malley is scared for Jake Paul. All right, great. You know what? Thank you, Sean. And now that's now my phrase. I'm going to steal that from you from this moment. I'm going to use it going forward because I didn't know how to describe my feeling about this fight, but I just got it. I'm glad I thought of it right after I read Sean O'Malley said it. Sean went on to say, there's certain punches, there's certain knockouts, there's certain concussions, there's certain ass whippings, there's certain beatings that are not equal to others. They're the kind of knockouts, of punches, of concussions, of ass whippings, and of beatings that change your life. They change lives. And O'Malley didn't elaborate on what that meant, but I know what he meant. I know what he meant. There is a confidence that a person has. From the guy that walks down the street, the most confident, he walks in the room and he's the man and he gets to live his life feeling that way and people will treat him that way. All the way down to the coward who walks his wife like he's weak, who handles everything sheepishly. But one thing those two guys have in common is that neither of them actually knows where they stand. Neither of them has actually tested that theory. They got all the rest of society to go along with it. Therefore, they don't have